Welcome to the What the Nuck podcast, the podcast for Canucks fans. I'm your host, Ridey, alongside my good friends and co-hosts, Gunny and Prabby. Gentlemen!
I almost saluted when you said Gunny's name because I thought I was going to be first. I'm sorry.
Switching it up. Keeping you on your toes, if you will. Vancouver keeping the Canuck fans on their toes in a 1-0 win, series-clinching win in Game 6. Gunveer, give me your thoughts on the game. What do you think went on in this game? Do you think the Canucks dominated, or was it just a defensive masterclass?
Honestly, that kind of game, I can't even focus on like what was happening. I'm just stressed moment to moment, minute to minute. That Besser Miller chance, I think they're on a 2-on-1.
Yep.
After they missed that one, like I don't know why, I just dread. Like not even that they were gonna lose, just the fact that I couldn't handle it. Like the stress was too much. A 0-0 game in a clinching all the way down to a minute 30, like what, 9 left?
I believe it's like minute 45. Yeah, minute 39.
Just and then just the relief when the kid, the man, the first line player, Pius Suter.
Puce.
Puce. Yeah, no, that game was stressful. That was too stressful.
I can attest to that. We were all watching together. Very stressful game. You know, once the third period started, that's where you really see Vancouver shine a little bit. You saw they were kind of dominating play a little bit more. And you got to give credit to Vancouver here on the PK in this series. When 19 for 21, they had to kill a double minor in this game. Brock Besser, high stick, double minor, and then cross-check's a cross-check. We'll talk about it in a bit, but my God. Colin Lindholm's cross-check in the last minute to try to get Nashville to force an OT. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, the freaking kid, 27-year-old, young man, Pius Suter, gets the goal. He had 5 shots in this game. Every shot he had, Saros was robbing him left, right, and center. Full credit to Saros. Prabby, give me your take on that goal. What'd you like about it?
Elias Pettersson.
Yeah.
That's it was crazy. I think what had happened was I think Miller was out there for the extended shift, and then Pettersson ends up taking a shift with Besser and Suter, and honestly, he's just putting work along the boards with like Besser and Suter. All three of them were doing great. And then that little chip over to Besser and that beautiful backhand pass, no look out front. And honestly, if that one didn't go in, I saw a tweet that said, "Pius Suter, you better start learning Chinese." Like that's how I was feeling if that one didn't go in on chance number 9 for the guy. But yeah, no, we still need more from the top 6. You can't be having guys like Pius Suter be the ones to score your game-winning goals if you want to be successful.
Those kind of clinching games, though.
No, I 100%. I completely am okay with it against like Nashville, but against Edmonton, like the top 6 has got to be better. I know it's like we just won, but man, credits to the defensive side. That they honestly, the defensive game that Vancouver put up, I never, like, you could have given me 100 guesses on how this series would go. I never would have guessed that Vancouver would go toe to toe on the defensive aspect of things with Nashville. And honestly, yeah, man, I'm just happy. Like round 2, here we come. Like Edmonton, Vancouver. It might not be like the biggest matchup of like, it's not, you know how like some matchups like that's a cup final matchup. It might not be that, but like I think it has the potential to be like the best series of the playoffs.
Oh yeah. Well, to us, like we're so biased. Like there's no way to even decide if it will be or won't be. But it's Oilers against Canucks.
Even like everybody, as soon as the game ended, I know we're going to be talking about the Nashville game, but as soon as the game ended, like Friedman, Chris Johnston, everybody, Irfan Gaffar, everybody's tweeting Vancouver, Edmonton. Like there it is. Everybody, it's not just us who are excited for it. I think the whole hockey world, Flames fans, like I've seen a few Leafs fans who are excited for it, like Montreal fans, everybody that I've talked to, like they just want to see Vancouver play Edmonton, and it's going to be electric.
2 rabid fan bases.
The
battle of Western Canada here, folks.
Yeah.
It's going to be a doozy of a game. But, we got to talk about the kid here quick because we're still talking about this Nashville game. Arturs Shelovs, ice in his veins, comes in, 1-0 shutout. that like we talked about Pius Suter in the goal. That's amazing. Good for the kid too. Like seriously, again, 5 shots on goal, all high danger chances. Sorrow stopped them all, but that one, huge clutch goal in the last dying minute of the game. 30 seconds ago, like we were saying, Lindholm takes that penalty. Absolute mayhem in the Vancouver crease. Tyler Myers blocking a shot with his cojones. And boys, one of my favorite parts of like that game is it, you watching everybody embrace one another. All the Canucks are going to She Loves. What a performance, big shutout. Tyler Myers is celebrating by the crossbar. He does like a big like let's go, and then he's hunched over because he just got hit in the gonads. Pius Shooter skates right over to Myers, gives him a big hug. I loved it.
Yeah.
I love how I know you had to watch it on a rewatch.
Yeah.
Because you must like been in that because we were absolutely ballistic.
Oh yeah.
At that point, there's like we don't like I rarely see celebration just because of that. The simple fact that we're always going ballistic and we're not even watching the screen because we're just all young. We watch parties, by the way, with like usually like 6 to 10 of the boys.
Yeah.
All huge Canucks fans, so it's just absolutely rowdy whenever they get a goal.
No, it was incredible, and I read an article on Suter. He took a puck from Susie, it like ramped up, hit his face or whatever, and since that he's pretty much been drinking smoothies and eating soft food for a week, and it just kind of made me laugh because Myers is there, ailing a little bit from that shot. that hit him in the nuts. Suter's coming over to go over to him and be like, "Yeah, it's a playoffs, baby. Like, let's go. What a win."
Apparently Suter had just moved on to mashed potatoes like a day or two before that.
Yeah. Mashed potatoes and fish apparently. So
guys
battling it.
How's he gonna get the steak from Aquilini though?
What a tweet! I love him so much.
Did he get a PR person? Like the fact he's hitting us with throwbacks. Like feels like a playoff game was so electric.
Yeah.
Like every game
and so tight, almost like a playoff game. Follows it up by somebody should buy Demko dinner, and then follows that up with I should buy Suter and She Loves dinner.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that guy's
probably feeling. Honestly, he's got the playoff revenue coming in now. He's probably absolutely drunk off of it.
Playoff revenue, Pearl Jam concerts, guy's out the woo-ha right now. He's loving his life.
Oh yeah.
It's official too here, boys, that the Canucks and Oilers series will start on Wednesday. It also said it's 7:20 Pacific Standard Time, so I'm assuming that'll be a big presentation before the game, I'm assuming, or whatever. Showcasing the Canucks season series sweep against the Oilers. Something like that.
No, that doesn't count apparently.
Yeah, I know it doesn't count.
That was preseason.
Yeah, they're
actually
team now.
Hey, quick question for you guys, because I think you can take a little bit of stock into the season series, like sweep. But I also think there's a bunch of mitigating factors, like DeSmith played 2 of the games. Apparently, one of the excuses for them is Woodcroft was the coach for the first 3, and McDavid wasn't in for game 4.
Because he was scared.
So yeah, Prabby, do you think that you could hold stock into the season series at all, or is it completely new?
I think like psychologically, I think Edmonton's still thinking about it, but if we're truly looking at it, I think the only game that you can probably hold stock in is the last one. Yeah. Did you guys see Mark Spector? Such a clown. That guy's so dumb. Did you see?
He agitates all the Oilers players. Like they actually hate him.
Did you see what he asked McDavid?
Yeah,
I did. Yeah,
and then McDavid's like, "I'm not even gonna answer that."
Pretty much. For those that didn't, he asked him. What was it that he asked him?
The 8-1 beatdown that they took from the Canucks. Yeah. There's something about
that. What went wrong there? Hit the old memory bank. What went wrong in that 8-1 loss in the season opener? And McDavid just said it's so long ago. I'm not going to answer that.
The correct answer for it.
Mark Spector is the biggest hater of like all Canadian teams except for the Oilers. Have you seen all his predictions, man? He never picks Canadian teams. He picked Nashville, he picked Colorado, and he picked Boston. And he had Edmonton moving on.
Well, Boston, he had history on his side.
Yeah.
It's only the Canucks one that's disrespectful. But I'm not going to put much weight in that, guys.
No.
Yeah.
There are a lot of other predictions, though, that are saying going one way.
Oh.
Yeah, ESPN has the Oilers as I wouldn't even heavy is not even the right word as the daunting favorites for this series. 23 out of 24 analysts out of ESPN picked the Oilers to win. There's only one guy by the name of, I believe, Ryan S. Clark that has the Canucks winning in 7, who I have no idea who that is. Also, Ray Ferraro picked Oilers in 6. Notable guy
Did,
there. Mark
did you
Messier.
see? Yeah, I was about to say, did you see the other name on that list?
Well, did you see the article was so funny because it was like, beloved Vancouver, former Vancouver player or whatever, like picked Oilers to win in 6 or something. It's like, do these guys watch hockey?
Wait, who did?
That's probably just being
The article, it was like, but yeah, it could have been satire. I don't know.
definitely had to have been satire.
Yeah,
Beloved.
well,
Like,
it
that's
got
peak
me
joke.
going. Boys, you want me to? I'll rattle off the season leaders here for each team here in the playoffs thus far. Point leaders.
Sure.
Oh, buddy.
Okay, we're gonna start with the Vancouver Canucks. Not
Woo!
not a lot going here offense wise, but we got Brock Besser, 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points. Miller's tied with him, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points. You have Hughes with 5 apples, Joshua with 4 points, and then after that it's a 3-way tie between Lindholm, Pedersen, and Zadorov for 3 points. On the other side here,
Oh god.
little different. You know my my prediction for one of my X factors in Quinn Hughes one of the people I said that was going to score the most for the Canucks
Yeah.
was Quinn Hughes getting 12 points. Apparently that's not going to happen, or that didn't happen, and McDavid did it. So he did 1 goal, 11 assists, 12 points. Draisaitl went 5 and 5 for 10 points.
Yeah,
Bouchard,
yeah, the bullshit stat. Go ahead. Go
this
ahead.
one here,
Yeah.
Bouchard 1 goal, 8 assists, 9 points. Hyman with 8 points, 7 goals. Nuge with 6 points, and Kaner with 3 points. Finally,
Gross.
quickly go over the goaltenders here. I didn't include Demko in this stat because I was just listening to Dan Murphy and Ian McIntyre, and it sounds like it's highly unlikely for him to be in this series regardless. But
That's the smoke and mirrors, baby.
Yeah.
we're knocking on wood.
I don't trust anything anybody says during the playoffs. I just don't.
It's because it's Ian McIntyre. I'll put a little weight on it because he's a Vancouver reporter, but he also might be, trying to bend it and send that out into the airwaves so the Oilers can hear it or something. I don't know.
There's
But
no chance he makes it back. He can't. Glass breaks. All right. Stone cold music hits.
but
I'm
yeah, so
expecting it.
for the Canucks, it's got to be Shelovs for the game 1. He
Yeah.
posted a 2-1 record, 938 save percentage, and a 1.7 goals against. DeSmith went 1-1, 911 save percentage, and a 2.02 goals against. And Skinner played all 5 games for the Oilers, going 4-1, 910 save percentage, and a 2.59 goals against. What are you laughing about there, Brabby?
He has a worse save percentage than our fucking third string goalie.
Yeah, it's the stew.
Stuart Skinner. Man, Edmonton fans believe in that guy. Believe.
They kind of have to.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, they don't got much of a choice there. They've been through it with the
Well,
goaltenders.
the soup went bad, so yeah, it's the stew that's up
Is
next.
Is he
The soup.
in the main roster?
They called up a bunch of players. I think their AHL
Yeah.
team probably got folded. But I've been seeing a lot of like Oilers stuff, like graphs and stuff like that on who has the advantage, where they have the advantage and stuff. And I saw one where the Oilers had a 5-star offense, Vancouver had a 4-star, 3.5-star offense, which I was like fair after the first round. I guess you can say that. But then the graph also had goaltending edge to the Edmonton Oilers. And I was like, they're basing that solely off of playoff experience, not from actual performance.
Driddy has his hand up, so I call on him. Hey,
Yeah.
Driddy.
So this is why Prabby it's exactly what you just said. Shelovs is a third string goalie, and Dom even said it in his model. He's going to be very volatile in his model because he doesn't have a lot of stats to prove. Like he's played nine games in the past like year. Like hasn't played all that much. Stuart Skinner has played in playoff games and all that. That being said, judging by the goaltending performances of both, and just again, I have a small sample size with Shelovs over Skinner. I think you can get into Skinner's head a little bit more. So I still think goaltending is kind of equal right now because we just don't know. Like who did Shelovs have to face against Nashville? Like really good players.
Nyquist,
Nyquist, O'Reilly, Forsberg,
Forsberg.
right?
Yeah.
No offense to those guys. Now Shelovs has to go against Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Zach Hyman. Like it's going to be the offense is
It's a big step up on
yes,
offense.
Yeah.
yes. The bar is
There's a
raised.
big Draisaitl shooting from the goal line and stuff like that. Just getting used to it.
Yeah. So I
No
think that's
questions
why.
asked. Yeah, I can see that. I'm not scared of Stuart Skinner though.
No.
All right,
No.
Stuart Skinner is a big downgrade from whatever UC Saros is doing to us. UC Saros and his
Yes.
5 other goaltenders on the ice at all times.
UC Saros was playing like Vesna caliber UC Saros. He was
Yeah.
making save after save after save. Like honestly, in Game 6, I didn't think we were gonna get one with the way he was playing.
The last 3
Yeah.
games he showed up. He played amazing in that series.
Yeah, like sorry, I just want to say, like, yeah, Stuart Skinner compared to UC Saros, it should be easier for the boys, and especially because they have the track record against Skinner this year. Like, at the end, dude, Vancouver was potting on that man.
Yeah.
Potting on that man.
Not just that, man. His former starter right there too, Jack Campbell. Like we broke the goaltender.
Yeah,
We sent the soup straight back to the shelf.
yeah, man. Like, I think everything I've read is Oilers in 5, Oilers in 6, Oilers in 4, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
People are just discrediting the Canucks because, like, they actually didn't watch the first round of the Canucks. They
Well,
just look at the stats and they see 12 goals scored, and they're like, "Oh, well, that's not going to work." And you look at the Oilers; they have like what 22 goals scored, and 9 of them are on the power play.
yeah. People are discrediting the Canucks series because pretty much if you weren't a Canucks fan or you weren't a Predators fan, people thought the games were boring. And that's like from like
Yeah,
chicklets and national media too. Like they thought this series was a snooze fest, but I don't know. In my opinion, and I'm also a Canucks fan, so obviously I'm going to be invested in the game. But game doesn't have to be 7-6 like Colorado Winnipeg. Like it's I don't know. These games were stressful, but the defensive clinic that both teams were putting on was pretty good. Yeah,
yeah,
the passing was a little bit off, and like there wasn't really much giving for power plays for both sides. Like the power
I know.
plays for Nashville to Vancouver were 13-21. Like
Well, yeah, that happens next series. I can tell you we're in for a bad time.
yeah,
I would say yes. The Nashville's defense also was, but man, the Canucks were also not looking that good offensively.
yeah,
Like the passing was looking crisp, but there was like that pass that was gonna go to the shot would always bounce over. Like it wasn't any like terrible, but like the empty nets from Pedersen missed, like the shots that were missed. Just cause maybe that could be argued because of Nashville's defense, and I think that was what like I remember BX was arguing that they were forcing us to shoot those kind of shots.
mm-hmm.
So like I could continue that, but I also think the Canucks just weren't up there offensively as they could have been.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if Nashville was in their head and they couldn't get on it, but like obviously PD was not just getting shut down; he was mentally shut down as well somehow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the hope is coming into next series, our big guns actually become big guns, because I think we're gonna need to match McDavid guys because
Yeah.
we can slow them up. There's no way stopping that team from just scoring altogether.
Well, I think one thing that you have to like look at is like so far in his career, Pedersen has a pretty good track record against the Oilers, and if there's ever a time for him to bounce back and get back to his like scoring ways, like who else but Stuart Skinner would you want him to play?
Well, and this is what Gunny was saying to me as well. The way the Oilers actually have their line set up right now, I thought he would be the third line center, but they have McDavid, Hyman, and Henrique together. Henrique would have been that third line center. Then they're loading up with Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl, Evander Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Third line's Dylan Holloway, Ryan McLeod, and Corey Perry. And if the Canucks are going to match up this the way I would expect them to, you're obviously going to put fire with fire and have JT Miller, Suter, Besser play one of those top 2 lines. And then you're also going to have Joshua, Lindholm, Garland playing one of the top 2 lines. That would leave Pedersen, Hoglander, and Mikheyev against Dylan Holloway, Ryan McLeod, and Corey Perry. So if there is a series for Pedersen to get going, hopefully he gets that favorable matchup for him.
No, I wonder if they do just put Nuge back on the third line. I don't know how much they've done that. I know that was like over the past few years. They never can keep track of where they got that guy.
Well,
Yeah.
wouldn't you expect Henrique to take over third line?
Well, that's what I
Oh,
mean.
yeah,
Like they
yeah.
load it up, so yeah, they must. They're probably gonna switch the lines up a little bit to
I'm
factor in for that.
I'm assuming they'd probably go Lindholm against Draisaitl, Miller against McDavid.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the course of action. It seems like Lindholm does good against Draisaitl, and we all know how Miller does against McDavid. So yeah, it's
Oh,
playoffs.
we do.
Yeah, it's playoffs this time. If you cross check Miller in the face, he's gonna rip your fucking head off. That's all I gotta say.
Well, let's get
Who's
into it. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
who in the Oilers are we gonna end up hating? Like I already
All of
hate half
them.
this team. Like, I
All of
already
them.
hate
Yeah, like
like who's the McCarron? Because I'm sick of that guy.
Vinny Desharnais. I feel like we're not
no,
gonna like him.
no. It's
Yeah.
gonna be
Nice.
Evander Kane or Corey Perry. It's not gonna be close.
I was seeing a lot of I you know, being Canucks fan, I've been like also like checking out some like Oilers fans and like the predictions and stuff like that. And a lot of them just don't understand the makeup of the Canucks. Like they were talking about how Evander Kane's gonna have a field day hitting Quinn Hughes, all this and that. And it's like they're acting like we're some small like defense. Like they were talking about how Evander Kane was like running like Drew Doughty and like LA wasn't doing much about it. All I want to say is, and this also goes into another point that I want to make is like obviously the Oilers feasted on the Kings, and like Kings are known to be a really good defensive team, and the Oilers absolutely exposed it. The difference between the Canucks defense and the Oil or the Kings defense is I'm pretty sure the average height for the Kings defense is like 6'1",
Mm-hmm.
maybe even less. The Canucks average height, you have Susie who's like 6'5", you have Myers who's 6'8", and you have Zadorov who's like 6'6", 6'7". And then if
Yeah.
you throw in Noah Juleson in there, I think he's like what 6'2". Ian
He's a
Cole's
big boy.
yeah, Ian Cole's also a big boy who can lay the body. Like the defensive prowess that Vancouver has on the ice and the amount of space that they can cover from the Canucks defenseman is I think going to cause problems for Edmonton. And even
Yeah.
if a guy like Evander Kane is out there running Hughes and going after Hughes, like we're not a small team. Like
No,
the Canucks, they're not a small team. The only line that I say you probably don't have any physical presence on is probably the Pettersson Mikheyev Hoglander line. But even then, we've seen Hoglander and Pettersson throw the body.
Hoglander is a bowling ball, and yeah, Pettersson, even though he wasn't going, he was engaged physically in the Nashville series.
Mhm,
Um, to your point too with Hughes, he got hit 17 times in the Nashville series, and that was Nashville's game plan. Like I think Edmonton's gonna have a slightly different game plan.
mhm.
Them probably seeing that, yeah, they're gonna want to hit Hughes, but also in the home games, Canucks are gonna have the matchups going. They'll not that they're gonna shelter Hughes, but he'll be in a role where he's gonna be able to succeed and he's not gonna get destroyed every time. Plus, we're also talking about a Norris finalist in Quinn Hughes. Like he's
Yeah.
got these days of rest now till Wednesday. He'll be ready. He'll be good to go. If Evander Kane wants to hit him, we'll break your ankles. It's
And
easy.
even during that series, like he improved on not getting hit and stuff too. I don't know
Exactly.
the full stats on how they went, but I remember like once he passed, like no one was even close to him and he spun. Like
Yeah.
he was ready to fucking dodge anything that came his way. I don't know if Edmonton I doubt that they have the forechecking that Nashville did with that one line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they just kept sending. And it was like McCarron, like that was their matchup plan was send him there and just get him to maul Hughes no matter what.
He adapted very well, but he was hearing the footsteps. Like he was just getting rid of it. Like I've never seen him get rid of it before. Like an average defenseman would on the boards or whatever, which is fine. But usually he would hold on to it a little bit longer. And I want him to adapt like that. He's a smart player. He's going to adapt. That being said, here, Prabby, what are the keys to be successful in this series? What's your big key?
Trying to remember. uh oh, Vancouver has got to force Edmonton to play Vancouver's style of hockey. They cannot. I don't think they can't get into a run and gun with the Oilers because the Oilers just have too much high end talent to
Mhm.
be able to keep up with. But I think what we've seen in the latter part of the year and in the first round is the defensive sturdiness that we probably didn't expect from the Canucks. And I think they need to continue to maintain that, but also what we saw of the offense in Nashville against the Predators, that's not how Vancouver's offense works. That
Yeah.
is absolutely not it. They're not. I'd be the 18 shots per game average. Like that's not how the Canucks work. Yes, they're very selective on their shots, and yes, they're um sometimes do a little too much. But for the most part, throughout the regular season, Vancouver is a high scoring team Like Edmonton averaged 3.7 goals per game, and I think Vancouver averaged like 3.4.
Mm-hmm.
So Vancouver just needs to play their style, which is strong defense and then score on the rush. That's what they like to do. It's one of their biggest things, especially Garland and Joshua. They love getting rush goals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand where people are saying it's going to be a cakewalk for the Oilers because Vancouver will score on the rush. They'll cycle it. They're not as good at the cycle as maybe the Oilers are, but they can still cycle the puck. And the power play. At the end of the day, like, yeah, the power play didn't do well last series, but if you look at the talent on that power play, they went 2 for 2 in the game number 3 against Nashville, I think it was. They went 2 for 2 and it won them the game. That's all they have to do.
And when you won game, that's
all you need.
Yeah.
That's it.
Over to you, Gun. Or actually, quickly, I just wanted to say I totally agree, Prabby. I think they're just because of the way we played in that series, people think like that's just how they're gonna play. Like I felt like Vancouver in the games that they lost, or like the style of play that Nashville has. I think the Canucks adapted to it. They initially were like, "Oh, we got to play Nashville's game," but they just simply adapted, played that defense, that grimy kind of hockey, and it worked for them. Obviously, things are going to open up in this series against the Oilers. But I do think the Canucks are still going to want to play this tight defense that they played in Nashville in order to be successful. So I think that's a great point. Gunny, what is your key to be successful in this series for the Vancouver Canucks?
key is something that we did not get a lot of last series, but we're gonna need depth scoring.
Yep.
We got the top guys, they got the top guys, and neither one's gonna get completely shut down. If our top guys get shut down, we're screwed. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing to do in there. And when I say top guys, I mean Miller, Besser, Pedersen, and then like even I'll add Lindholm, Garland.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they're doing that line, when I talk depth scoring, I mean like tough to say his name right now, but like Mikheyev, Hoglander, who got 0 points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like 0. Even that, honestly, Lafferty and Bluger, they had their fair share of chances. Like where I was like, okay, maybe they can't. PDG,
1 assist in the series.
hell fucking yeah, brother. PDG. I'm saying we're gonna need something from those guys, especially when we're gonna be having, as we know, higher scoring games.
Yeah.
Those 2 or 3 we just get from the depth guys, I think will be the difference in the series. Especially like honestly, one player, like I don't know, he's not a depth piece, but Roenick, he's got to get it going offensively as well.
Yeah. That's
Especially with
huge.
Hughes getting run every time. I think that's like to your point about our defense being big. The issue with that Hughes getting run like that is the fact that Roenick usually his partner, and at that point, and Roenick doesn't. He's just not that player to step up.
No.
But I think he is that guy to step up offensively when they're sending 1-2 guys to go smoke Hughes, and then he just has to go around the boards to Roenick. Roenick is good enough to hit that first pass out of the zone and start a rush. So I think we're going to need to see something out of him as well, and the rest of our depth players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would even put Garland in that mix too for depth scoring. I know he got 2 points. That pass to Lindholm.
That guy's one of the big guys for me right now.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
That line deserved more.
It did. You know,
or Garland, Joshua, Lindholm, they deserve more.
I rewatched that game 6, and Lindholm had like a beauty chance, like a partial break. Yeah. Obviously, Saros was there with the answer. Yeah, no, this is the easiest one to say, boys, but I think it's just crucial because if it goes wrong for Vancouver, this series could be over quick. Stay out of the goddamn penalty box against this team because my word,
merchants,
they are 9 for 20 on the power play at a whopping 45%. Like that's insane. They also killed off, and this is against a penalty kill in the LA Kings that was second in the league in the season. Apparently, I heard that the Kings tried this new tight triangle, this like diamond formation, and the Oilers were like, "Oh, okay, we'll just do this," and then it worked for the Oilers, obviously. So Canucks don't do the tight triangle. Let's just not do that. But yeah, no, like you have to stay out of the box. Like this is like the Harlem Globetrotters on the power play. You have McDavid, Draisaitl in his spot. Like he likes shooting at a sharp angle for some reason, and he scores like multiple times. That's his office. You have a Hyman mucking it up in the crease. You got a Boosh bomb. Like there's a lot of scary weapons that they can use to dismantle the Canucks penalty kill. That being said, Canucks penalty kill ain't no slouch either. 90%, killing 19-21 against Nashville, albeit. But still, Vancouver, if they want to win this series, has to stay out of the penalty box, and they have to capitalize on their chances. There are going to be games where the Oilers just take over with it, and that's going to be that. But if Vancouver can keep their PK in the 80 to 90 range, and then also improve their power play that only went 2 for 13 against the Predators, they have a good chance to win this series at 5-on-5.
Yeah, I think that's what people have been talking about the whole time.
Yeah.
That special teams there's a reason when we call them merchants on the power play and
Yeah.
everything like that. Like, it's disgusting
Mm-hmm.
how they do it. Seriously, like, this is one I don't like. Our offense wasn't going, so I'm not going to ever blame the refs for last series for anything that happened. They did have some blown calls, but this is one where like 1 or 2 blown calls could absolutely
it.
decide the series.
Yeah.
Because it's a lethal power play coming from them.
I don't understand. Edmonton's a pretty dirty team. So the fact that they ended up with 20 power plays is mind-boggling to me.
Okay, this is what I think from that. I believe the Oilers are good at drawing calls as well. You have 2 of the best players in the world. I'm not saying that they dive or embellish, but Bravi is, and you know what? You might persuade me in that answer. But actually, you know, what am I saying? One of the games, I don't know what exact game this was against the Kings for the Oilers, but Draisaitl drew a call and he celebrated. Like, yeah, like I got the power play for us. Like, I've never seen someone celebrate
Absolute
a power
merchants.
play.
I hate this team so much.
Yeah.
Apparently, the league is just talking to all the teams about the increased embellishments that they're seeing.
Yeah, Rick Tocchet was talking about that.
Wait, when was this?
I think yesterday or today.
Yesterday or today it was.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. All right.
Yeah.
Playoff hockey, I'll take it this time. Last series, I was pissed. This series, all right, let's get some playoff hockey out there. Put the whistle away, boys. Let them play.
Yeah, so that's my big key in the Canucks being successful for this series. And you know, just to like kind of pile on to what Prabby was saying about like how all these analysts and stuff and like big reporters are kind of counting out on Vancouver. Like, this team has been underdogs from October to still now. People thought, they're not going to make playoffs, or they're going to be just a bubble team. And when the Canucks were 12-3-1 at the start of the year, absolutely dummying the Oilers, everyone was like, oh, they're going to fall off eventually. So many people were like, mark my words, the Oilers will be winning the Pacific Division. Canucks are going to fall off. Like, dude, we lost 4 in a row, and there was an article that came out from TSN being like, is this team a pretender? Like, if you want to look at a pretender, go look at the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like,
We've had terrible, even now. Like, I think we have the lowest odds to win the cup.
Yeah, I'm sure we do.
Teams left. We had lower chances to win than Dallas before they won today.
Yeah,
like that's a level of disrespect the boys could ride. Like, that is ridiculous.
And
at the end of the day, any team, like, this is, like, I would say this about any team when it happens, other than like Washington when they enter the playoffs. But like, playoffs is like anyone's game.
Yeah,
it's a 7-game series.
Yeah,
a couple of bounces can win you that. I don't think that's it. I genuinely think we're a better team. Like, I think we'll win this because we'll win this.
Yeah.
But the disrespect we're getting, there's some betting odds and all these players, like, it's just too much. It's too far.
And that's the thing, though. That's what I wanted to finish off with. Like, that's okay, because this team knows that. This is just bulletin board material for this team. Put it in the locker room. You know, put that video of like Merles talking about how Quinn Hughes isn't like a captain you can win, or a defenseman you can win the Stanley Cup with. Like, this team has so much material for them to, you know, have that drive and that passion to win. And you got JT Miller, man, who, I don't know if you guys saw his post game with the Suter goal. He was just saying apparently Suter broke his stick and slammed a water bottle on the ice, like when he wasn't scoring. And he just said he loved the passion. He's like, I love to get angry too. Like, and he just said to Suter to keep going. And this whole team's going to keep going because they're passion and they have a drive to win the Stanley Cup. Now, Gunvir, I'm going to hand it over to you here. What and who is your X factor for this series for the Vancouver Canucks?
The who? I think I'm going to go with JT Miller.
Yeah.
Pick a nice, easy one here.
Yep.
He's got the matchup role against McDavid. Simple as that. he's I like Hughes is the guy on the power play, but I think it's almost Miller has that same amount of responsibility, how much it runs through him as well. With his shot, him getting it the cross creases if they need to, that little quick when he gets to uh, Pedersen to get the shot off when they're doing a huge amount of passing, and then just the type of player he is, right? The Sea Love shirt thing,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
everything else this guy's done for the team keeps it light. That's Suda, right? You're just talking about it.
Yeah.
The guy's built for this. This is what he is. He's a team leader. Even though I believe me, I was yelling last year, but like he's shown time and time again, like when the team's winning or when the team's even down and like they're in that competitive edge, this guy will amp the boys up. He'll get them going.
Yeah.
And off the ice, on the ice, I think he just does it all. He's a playoff performer. And I think he's going to definitely show it this series.
100% agree. I can't say enough about Miller. I absolutely love the style of player he is. Like in this series,
Yeah.
again, even on to Game 6, him coming out on the ice with She loves his shirt. It's just amazing. Like that just keeps the mood light, like you said, and keeps the boys engaged. Being like, hey, like it's serious, but have fun with it. You know.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
Yeah. On to
I
you.
think he also goes to our most lethal winger in Besser
Oh,
for
for
goal
sure.
scoring.
Yeah.
Like I think that's actually going to be a big deal. Like obviously Besser was scored the 4 goals, but we're still talking about Miller for a reason.
Yeah.
I think he had a hand in almost every single one of the goals. I'm trying to think of any that he didn't.
Yeah.
All the ones that went to Besser. Like I think
Yeah.
Miller.
Yeah.
I think he assisted on every single one. Like the one that he threw it down to Lindholm across.
Yeah.
He's gonna be everywhere on the ice, Miller.
Yeah. He unlocks Besser's potential to score, and also it's credit for Besser for being able to finish the way he has been, and also that guy's playmaking too. My God, love it. Prabby, let's go to you here, buddy. Who's your X factor?
I think I'm gonna pick another obvious one. Elias Pettersson.
No, not as obvious, honestly.
I think you gotta pick him. I think the fact that Vancouver was I get it was against Nashville, but the fact that Vancouver made it out of that first round series with Pedersen playing nowhere near to what we have become accustomed to seeing.
Yeah.
I think that's a good sign. And if he can wake up, all he needs one goal. That's all he needs.
Mm-hmm.
Off a shin, off of whatever, he needs a goal. And if he can wake up, I think Vancouver's chances just absolutely skyrocket at that point. You know, if you have Pedersen firing on all cylinders, he's going to make Höglander better. He's going to make Mikheyev better. I know. I was contemplating not even saying his name.
Yeah, that guy.
But no, I think Vancouver needs Pedersen to wake up to win this series. And like that's not even me being douchey saying that the rest of the team can't do it. It's just a fact when you're taking on guys like McDavid and Draisaitl.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is, honestly. Like man.
Finished the series with 8 shots in Nashville.
Yeah, that's
I just don't see him
pathetic.
repeating that.
Pathetic.
Yeah, like Zadorov had 9.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty. It was shocking to see from him.
Definitely was. I to what you just said, finishing with 8 shots in Nashville, like Game 5, I really liked his play. Thought he was way more engaged, and he was giving that line chances. Mikheyev had 2 really nice chances. Höglander had a couple. And then that Pius Suter goal does not happen without the forecheck of Pedersen in Game 6. Like you watch him, he goes. I believe it's like Lazon in the corner with him, and he sidesteps him, which causes Lazon to kind of like stumble a little bit. Holds the puck on the boards, gets it to Besser, and yeah, no, like props to him. Obviously, we need more from him, like production wise, right? Like that's a huge thing. Like we can't be passing up opportunities like he did on the power play in Game 2. Like he's got to find the back of the net.
The first, I'd say like 2-3 games for him were really rough to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were hard. They were so hard to watch. And I remember every time he would get the puck, I would just like. I've never had this. I used to have this mindset on Besser, and Besser's completely gotten rid of it. But like a couple years ago, Besser would get the puck, and I'd just be like, "Oh my god, the play's gonna die! Like it's gonna be dead." And that's how I felt watching Pedersen in the first 3 games of the first round. But then after like game 4, 5, and 6, yeah, like he still isn't the Pedersen that we've become used to, but he was getting better and he's getting better and he's getting better. And I actually do expect him to have a really good series against the Oilers because he always plays good against the Edmonton Oilers. Always. So I'm betting on my boy Petey.
Love that.
That's a good bet to make.
Yeah.
I think so too. And yeah, if you guys have
Sports.
the Athletic, Drance has a great article on his struggles, and it was just really insightful. And like he's still playing all right. The plays he's trying to make, it just they weren't happening. Sorry, I cut you off though, Prabby.
I just wanted to say I can't wait to see Sports Philosopher Vancouver's freaking response to this.
Make a video on this. Yeah, actually,
Oh my God,
he's gonna torch you.
Yeah,
That's
get
funny.
get our Twitter banned.
Now, I initially had I don't know. I've been indecisive, let's just say, all day about who the X Factor is going to be. I'm going to say both of them just because I have to.
That's allowed?
That sounds
You
like
picked
so
a whole
cheating.
line in the X Factor's last
Well,
series,
the
so
host
yeah.
line had a relationship. I want to see the relationship here.
There's
He's
okay.
gonna say dismiss Sealos?
You can say Seelovs and Hughes.
Wow. Gunny got it right.
Yeah, we talk a lot.
So, yeah, my first one is Hughes just in the fact that like yeah, he got hit 17 times that Nashville series. He wasn't as dynamic as he always is. He still got 5 apples, and in this series in particular, because they have McDavid and Draisaitl that are going to be absolutely electric, high octane offense by the Oilers. Hughes needs to break out the puck like he always does with us and push pace. That's how we're going to get odd man rushes on this team, and that's how we're going to be able to score goals on defensive pairings like Cody Ceci and Darnell Nurse or Desharnais and the like. You know what I mean? Or Brett Kulak. Like we need to be able to capitalize on their high octane offense and getting out the puck early. So him and Ronick are going to have to do that. But I think Hughes is the tone setter for that. Obviously, also unlocking Miller's shot on the power play. That'll be huge. And yes, the other X factor I have is Shelovs because he's an amazing goalie. He's faced huge, like high stakes scenarios, both with his country in Latvia and in this Nashville series to be called upon after your starting goaltender and Demko go down and Smith gets injured as well. Tocchet rode the hot hand, and this kid, like I said, has ice in his veins, and he backs off this team to a shutout to clinch a series against Nashville. That being said, this is a way bigger test. Stakes are a little bit higher. It's going to be a lot tougher, and there are going to be games where McDavid and Draisaitl might pump this guy. So he has to stay calm and collective like he is, and not worry about letting in a little bit more than just 2 goals a game. You know, so that's the thing I wanted to say. I think he's a huge X factor because we got to see how he can handle that pressure of probably allowing more goals in this series.
If he just goes off, though.
If you go, I'm buying a jersey.
Yeah, there we go. Nice and easy.
A little goalie controversy going into next year.
Yeah.
Going to next series. Damn goes seriously. What if he wins us a series? It gets dirty back then. Obviously, I'm thinking way too far ahead.
No, of course.
There's no point.
It's pretty incredible what he's already done, and I don't know about you boys, but my expectations for the season was initially to make playoffs and just be along for the ride. They won the first round.
Yeah.
I'm really happy and content with what the Canucks have done, but this isn't a fucking eulogy, okay? The fucking boys are here, and I'm really excited to see what they could do against the Oilers here, and I really do think they could take it. So, Prabby,
I'll tell you what. Hold on.
yeah.
I'm happy with what the boys have done. Ain't no fucking way you guys are gonna lose to the Edmonton Oilers. I can't put up with that for the rest of the year. For a year from now, I can't put up with it. Like they can't lose. They actually can't. Like it's not good for my mental health, man. Lose to anybody else. Don't fucking lose to the Edmonton Oilers. All right.
Seriously. When's the last matchup against them? 1992.
Yeah, and they fucking beat us in 6, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can't be having that over our heads.
Can I choose another X factor?
Yeah, go for it.
It's actually it's not really an X factor, but
Is it a Y factor?
Oh, wow. 45 minutes in.
Jeez. No, I just wanted to quickly make a comment about Nashville's like barn and everything. It was pretty rocking. I'll tell you one thing. I feel like the home team, like whichever team's playing home, games 1, 2, Vancouver, 3, 4, Edmonton, the home team's gonna have an advantage because Rogers Place and Rogers Arena are 2 of the loudest barns I think in the NHL, and that's gonna absolutely juice whoever the home team is. So I think that if Vancouver can manage to take one in Rogers Place, I think at that point, I honestly think they're winning the series, like 100%. Even if they split the home and home with Edmonton, if they can take one in Rogers Place, because the Oilers feed off their crowd, and they feed off having like the worst goal horn in the league. So if Vancouver can just go there and take one, we're winning the series.
We need to pump them just to start. I feel like
Um,
the team's so like cup or bust. They're gonna be in their own heads, man. I want to see them down in the series. They're coming to Vancouver. There's a reason we got home ice.
Yeah.
We got the matchup. We got everything. I want the boys just pumping them.
yeah. I want a Brock
I think,
Besser 4-goal performance again.
yeah, I want to see literally like someone tweeting out, "Do we need to start Jack Campbell?" Like shambles. I want to see.
Imagine the series goes exactly as like regular season went. So it's 8-1 game 1, 4-3 game 2, 6-2 game 3, and like what was it, 4-3 in game 4? Or is it like
3-1.
3-1?
I believe.
3-1.
Yeah, yeah. Remember the
Jeez.
Smith masterclass?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So is that? I know she loves as a hot hand here, but DeSmith has beat these guys twice
Mm-hmm.
in their bar twice. Do we go she loves at home too? And we put DeSmith in on the road?
I wonder how long of a leash he actually has. I don't think it's going to be that long.
No.
Just because of that factor of DeSmith having good games against Oilers.
Mm.
I can see them just going by feel. I think it's like every game you decide.
Yeah, I think Tocchet loves the kid right now, and until he has an egregious game, which I just don't see because he's got an aura around him, man. He's a very, very poised goaltender, and he catches everything.
The beginning of a
Sucks it
legend
up,
here.
man. He just sucks it all up. Like the guy's
He actually-
crazy.
Yeah, let's go to the predictions here, boys. I'll start with Gunny here first. Gunny,
Oh God.
what's the prediction for this series here?
Can we do predictions and leading point scorer for the Canucks?
Yeah,
Just-
we'll do that. Yeah,
Because we all know what our predictions are, so might as well differentiate.
I want to know the games. So.
No, I know the games.
Yeah.
I think Canucks in 6.
Mm.
Think we go up 3-1. They win game 5. We win a game 6.
Oh,
I think it's the same story.
yeah.
Wow.
Except for we win 2 at home. That's my prediction. You put me on the spot. I did not think. I completely forgot we were doing predictions. Slipped my mind.
You're good. Yeah.
Who's your leading point scorer for the Canucks?
Leading point scorer, JT Miller.
Nice. How many?
JT Miller with he just goes off for goal scoring. 5 goals, 5 assists.
Wow.
Oh, the old Draisaitl first round.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're gonna come to me next.
Yes, of course.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go Canucks in 7, and I'm gonna say like I said the thing about like Canucks steal one in their barn. I don't think it's gonna happen. So I'm gonna say basically the home team's gonna win every single game, and eventually it's gonna come back to Vancouver. Canucks are gonna take them out back, and I'm not gonna say the rest of it. You know where I was going.
Who's the point scorer? Leading point scorer?
I'm gonna go Petsky. I'm gonna go Pedersen.
Please don't ever call him that.
Petsky?
my dad, when I mentioned that some people call him Petsky, he said that's the dumbest name. Everybody also loves it.
It's so fucking silly.
It's ridiculous.
I hate it so much.
Honestly, I'm gonna go 6 goals, 5 assists.
I like it, man. The guy finds his game.
Yours. 6
God.
7 points in 7
If
games.
he-
You said Millsy has 10 and 6.
If he
Yeah.
finds his game like that, dude, build them both statues outside of Rogers. Holy.
How are we not
Wow.
saying? How are we not saying? Well, actually, I get it, but it's a what? Like a 1 point difference between Gunny.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
man. I
the
said 12 points for Hughes in round
The
one.
difference is he's getting 6 goals when he had 8 shots last year. that's my spookiness. Hey, I still
That's-
believe in the guy.
That's fair.
No, I still get why you're saying that. I think he gets that. Maybe Miller Kessler's always been the comparison.
Mhm.
Maybe PD just finds that 1 goal and just explodes.
Okay.
God knows we're gonna need it.
Oh yeah.
Setting the scene.
Oh boy.
Okay.
This is going to go 7 games here, boys. And we're
Yeah.
going to lose both at Rogers Arena. Okay.
To
Oilers are
start?
to start.
Oh,
Oilers
God.
are flying high. McDavid's going to pump us. Okay. Enter DeSmith game 3. Zadorov in an interview in the Nashville series goes, "We like playing the villain. Vancouver Canucks win both in Rogers. Okay, come back. Game 5, we win. So we win 3 in a row. Up 3-2. Oilers take one in their barn. Game 7, where the streets have no name. OT game winner, JT Miller. Okay.
You said J, and I thought the next word that was gonna come out was Beagle. And I was like, wow.
Nah.
J-Leah Mikheyev.
But yeah,
So-
my leading scorer of the series too. Yeah, it's gonna be Brock Besser.
Oh,
Brock Besser. Yep.
what was he getting?
7 goals,
Oh,
3 3 assists.
Can we?
see it.
All right. Each one's got the goals.
Uh,
I got a question for you boys here.
Yeah.
I don't know if we had other plans, but I got one question.
Yeah.
Does Ilya Mikheyev
Oh.
score a goal?
No.
I'm saying yes. I'm gonna say yes against Stuart Skinner. Yes.
Can I be honest though? I want him to. I just don't think it's possible. He's just not allowed.
I think he scores one against the Stew.
Off his skate.
Honestly, he needs to start ripping pucks from behind the goal line. Like,
Mikheyev?
yeah. Well,
He can't rip him from in front of the net.
I know, but like, that's why you should do it from behind the goal line.
That's not a good reason.
Try something different.
Yeah, try passing it. Try getting a
Oh, he can't do that.
face off for the boys.
No, he can't. Well, he can get the face off because he puts it right in the chest.
Yeah, that's true.
But the guy can't pass. He can't shoot.
Awesome.
Yeah, okay, quickly here, boys. I think that's. Do you guys have any more things to say about the Vancouver Canucks here versus the Oilers, or?
To anybody who has a weak stomach, I would stay off Twitter for the next couple weeks.
Actually, though, it's gonna be toxic.
It's gonna be vicious on there, and yeah, no, Oilers Twitter sucks. So start off the beef. There actually are a couple Oilers channels. I do have to say after watching this, and I have watched them like a couple times before. This guy named the Oilers Fanatic. He's seems like a really good dude, like really nice guy.
Deep in enemy territory here.
A guy named Austin Hockey. He seems like a good dude.
Probably top 5 Oilers media. Like,
Mark Spector, great guy.
I do have to say, teacher of puck on Twitter. You're a
I don't.
bitch.
Oh, there
What
we go.
is this?
Brabby's minute. Like, get this going. Get
I
this
know.
guy
I
out of-
gotta. Okay, I want you guys' series predictions here. We're gonna start in the East here, quick. Okay. East second round. Rangers are already up 1-0 against Carolina. Gunny, go prediction.
Rangers in 7.
Okay.
Rangers in 7.
Rangers in 6. Love that. Florida versus
Boston.
the Boston Bruins. Yeah.
Mhm.
Game 7. Pasternak in. Back scores. It's crazy.
Such a guarantee. What did I say? Game 7, Boston, OT. That was the only way it was going.
Yeah.
This one, Florida in 5. They're not a good team. Boston's, they're trash.
I'm
They
gonna
got like one player.
go Florida in 6.
Yeah. 5. Florida in 5. Yeah.
No prediction just to get us a 2011 rematch.
My
Mm,
You're a
bracket.
storybook
It's
guy.
tough, man, because Florida's been waiting for a while here. Boston's been playing some like life or death hockey, but watching that game against Toronto, like they're kind of
Devastating.
lifeless. Like, yeah, I think Florida just eats them alive. Cats
Yeah.
are on the prowl. Wow. Yeah. What's the next series here for the East here? What am I looking
That's it,
at?
buddy.
That's it.
Oh, it is it. It's fucking it's around here.
This guy's
I'm like,
searching out Washington Capital against the Islanders.
I was trying to find them. Ovechkin's gone. Yeah, and now we got Dallas versus the Colorado Avalanche. This one's gonna be a tough series to predict, in my opinion. Brabby, we'll start with you.
Dallas in 6, baby. We're team stars all the way.
Gunny?
Dallas in 4.
Oh my god.
What?
Said my piece.
Gosh.
Oh God.
Keeping this under an hour. Won't give my reasoning.
All right. Colorado in 6. I can't believe you guys are saying that.
What do you mean? Dallas just beat the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, took him a bit.
It's the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, that is
Former
true.
Stanley Cup champions who added Thomas Hertl, who added Noah Hannafin, Mark Stone.
Hey,
came
don't
back-
forget
They're
Anthony
cheaters who
Mantha.
got what they deserved.
Yeah, Anthony
all right?
Mantha. Mark Stone
Yeah,
died and got resurrected, and he's
Yeah.
back, and they still beat him.
all for what? I love that they lost.
Screw that organization, man.
Yeah, and then I got one more question for you guys, just a little league news, if you will. What's next for the Maple Leafs here, boys? After losing again,
Misery.
Yeah.
I don't think it's change something. I think the team's I actually believe in curses and destiny when it comes to that team, and they're destined to lose. What they're gonna do this season, though, I think they just said that Keefe and the players are gonna speak tomorrow,
Mm,
and then management's gonna speak on Tuesday after firing him. I guess I
Yeah.
don't know if that's the
Yeah.
logic behind it.
Keith is
But-
chalked.
Yeah, so they're getting rid of Keefe, and then like what else does there really do? You trade Marner for what, a goalie, or do you? I guess you have Wall now, so you
No.
can keep him.
yeah,
So you trade Marner for what? Like who wants him with
Probably
that
a-
contract?
Defenseman?
Well, yeah, like Morgan Riley hasn't been anything special.
Let me tell you something. All right. Philip Hronik,
it's-
Ilya Mikheyev from Mitch Marner. Make it happen.
go trade.
During playoffs.
Yeah, it's tough. They had a lot of injuries in this one. Like Willie Nylander wasn't there due to like heavy migraines or whatever. Like he had like bad vision and all that, so he was out for a bit. Matthews was out for we don't know what yet. Joseph Wall getting injured and Samsonov not playing to his potential. Like tough series for him. You know what I say? Run it back. Let's go, Sheldon Keefe. Let's go. The
core four, baby.
You know what? You know what Johnny T said 8 years in a row? You know what he said last night? He goes,
What?
"We're right there." Right where, buddy?
Guy's so electric.
I can't believe
He's
that.
not leaving on that contract. He's staying there.
Yeah, definitely.
Put
No,
PJ's on.
that's tough though. I do feel bad for Leafs fans. Like I
I
Yeah.
don't. I do not.
no, it's
Seems so-
Gunveer. Don't be.
I
like that.
usually don't. I think
Yeah,
yesterday
this
was
one-
the first time. I think I actually like genuinely.
Nah, it
felt
was
bad.
so funny.
It's so
The
funny.
fact they still believed. That's hilarious. That's 4 straight game 7s against Boston. Like you can't
Can't make it
you,
up.
you just can't sit there and be like, oh my god, I can't believe it happened again.
Dude, I love Biz, but it was like probably the funniest. Like he was doing like random like live videos in between the intermissions and stuff. It's like third intermission or going into OTs. Like it's a close up of his face, basically. I don't know if he's like, taking a bit of the weed pen or a couple drinks in. He's like 1959. He's like, we got this, boys. Let's go. And the next one, his eyes are welled up. He's like, oh, back to the drawing board. I love you, Biz. So that was great. Yeah, I am so excited for this series. Like this is so poetic that Vancouver broke the Edmonton Oilers at the start of the year to now coming full circle. Oilers got their mojo back. They go on a crazy 16-game heater, and they're going to be facing the Vancouver Canucks for a best of Western Canada final matchup.
Best of
Western
Canada.
Cup.
Best of Canada matchup at this point.
True.
Yeah. Canadian teams fighting it out, trying to break the curse.
Yeah, it's gonna be electric. And yeah, just to Canuck fans, word of advice, like there's gonna be some losses in this series. It's all good.
You should be
No
telling
worries.
yourself that more than anything.
I am. I'm looking in a mirror while I'm saying this.
He calls himself Canuck fan.
There's
That's
gonna
what
be some,
he calls himself in the mirror.
there's gonna be some tough ones in this series, but ultimately, people have been doubting this team for a long time. Keep doubting them. Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Just reached the hour mark of the pod.
All
Wrap
right.
it up.
Yeah.
Wrap it up.
That's going to do it for the What the Nuck podcast. You can follow our Instagram and X or Twitter at What the Nuck Pod, and our YouTube channel and TikTok at What the Nuck. Enjoy the game on Wednesday and go Canucks. Go.